Hey guys, welcome to the British Grand Prix here on ChesnoidPlays. Another one, of course, here on the second channel now, but still streaming them live over on twitch.tv/ChesnoidGaming. So there is a link in the description as ever if you want to come across and watch these streams live. Our first race with our new teammate. Not necessarily what we wanted, but unfortunately my blunder meant that Esteban Ocon is now no longer with the team. So we'll find out just how quick Jack Aitken really is, because he's got the best car on the grid underneath him, but can he actually get any points? I hope so. We'll find out. I'm going to jump into practice. It's fully dry for the Grand Prix, so looking forward to a good result here, hopefully, at Silverstone. Fingers crossed, because we didn't get one last year, although I was on the wheel and underperformed a little bit. Best car on the grid. Let's put it, can we, dream, can we get my first pole at my first home Grand Prix? Esteban Ocon did it in France. Let's see if we can do it here as well. Well, that was a thoroughly successful practice program. Almost maximised our potential gain. 565 of a potential 625 resource points. Our tyre wear is just above where it should be, which is good. And to be fair to him, Jack Aitken has popped it P6. Well done, Jack. Keep that up in practice and you'll be an absolute hero. Or the chance to decide on another rival. Valtteri, Nick, Lewis, or Charles Leclerc. I obviously won't go for Nick de Vries. I think it's between Lewis and Charles, I think. And to be fair, we've been finishing above Lewis more regularly than we've been finishing above anybody else. So I'd say I'm going to, and it's the biggest acclaim, I'm going to go for Lewis. My new rival, Lewis Hamilton.
Home Grand Prix. Do you think they enjoyed themselves out there today?
It's my home Grand Prix as well, you know, as Jack Aitken's.
You put in a lot of time on the track today. Was there a reason for this?
Data gathering is an important aspect.
There's quite a buzz around this team at the moment. What are your thoughts on them?
They're all right.
Great. Well, that's everything.
Thanks, Claire. I had the money to sign him because we weren't sure if we were going to sign someone else. Then he won the French Grand Prix. So we were like, okay, we'll keep him. And then in my brain I went, that means I don't need to save any money anymore. I went and spent all of my money. Then it twigged in my head, I still need money to be able to re-sign him. By which point it was too late. I'd already spent it all. So I'm a moron. And that's why we now have Jack Aitken. So we will be qualifying 17th at best, because I forgot to take my parts out between qualifying and practice. So they're the parts I'm running right now. 76% worn MTU8, 84% worn ICE. So we'd have been starting at the back anyway, but ballsed it. Made a mistake. We'll retire from session. We'd have been starting from the back of the grid anyway, so I'm an idiot. But thankfully, we have the best car on the grid, so we should be able to recover. We were able to do so in France, although that wasn't my fault in that case. And Jack Aitken qualifies P8 in Q1. We'll see where he ends up on the grid, of course. But annoyingly, I mean, I guess that does mean we save a set of tyres, but not exactly the way I wanted to do it.
Your qualifying pace didn't put you at the front of the grid. Will this be a problem tomorrow? Your teammate is at home today. The crowd really appreciated it, didn't they?
I'm so annoyed at myself for not changing those parts.
Great. Well, that's everything.
I wanted to get pole at my home Grand Prix, and I'm going to be starting last at my home Grand Prix. I'm intrigued to see where Jack Aitken qualified. Let's see. I wonder how many places my grid penalty was. Bottas on pole. Both Mercedes on the front row. Charles Leclerc. Jack Aitken fourth. Oh, we might not have the best driver with regards to his stats, but because the car is so good, he's still performing well. The Constructors' Championship might yet still be alive. The Constructors' Championship still might be alive. I get 192 place grid penalty. 192 place grid penalty. And I'll be starting last. Now, so annoyingly, it's a one-stop race. Meaning, I can't really take much advantage of strategy. I have to just be damned quick. Ay, ay, ay. That's what we'll do then. Start on the mediums, go 30 laps, put the softs on and go from there and hope to hell that we can actually get a decent result. We are going to have a lot of overtaking to do, boys. But we are we are away at the British Grand Prix. And we have so many cars to overtake. Yellow flag already. Oh, and Lance Stroll is off the track. How did that happen? Crazy start at the beginning of the British Grand Prix. Let's have a look. Lance Stroll, the racing point. He's all over the back. Oh, is he going to get clipped here? Yeah, he's clipped. Lance Stroll gets clipped on the inside by the Red Bull, who, to be fair, was in a bit of a sandwich himself with his teammate. Just clips the front wheel, sends Stroll round. Oh, there's... No! Jack Aitken round! What happened to Jack? I can't believe it. After qualifying so well, he's up into third from the start. He's gone for the inside line. He's hit the Mercedes, tried to correct it and binned it. Jack! Now we both have so much work to do. Oh my God, he qualified so well. That's where the difference in the stats is. Not having the racecraft, not having the experience. Oh man, Jack's going to be near the back. Well, he's going to be flat out last, isn't he? Jack's going to be flat out last. Stroll is going to be not too far away from him. Still says Giovinazzi is 22nd for some reason. I'll start using my overtake button to stay up with those in front. We are going to be slower on these medium tyres again. Well, 5 laps made on lap 1 is a start. 5 laps made on lap 1 is a start. Do I risk it into Stowe lap 1? No, it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. Oh, I've got a hell of a run though coming out of the end of the hangar straight. I'm going to go for it. Try and put it around the outside of Giovinazzi here as well. Not been able to do it. I still have an Alfa Romeo on my inside though, but we've been able to get past him as well. Giovinazzi's letting me through. Oh, it's bugged. It's saying that Giovinazzi's 22nd. Even though he was actually fine. That's weird. That's a bug I've not encountered before. Oh well, we're up to 16th. Oh, can't believe it. Jack! Oh, well. We know that he's got the car underneath him. All he has to do is prove his talent. If he can qualify in 4th, then surely he can make some overtakes and get himself up back through the field. It doesn't look like Jack Aitken's going to be scoring any points at his home Grand Prix. But we're hoping to make some progress. Hoping to make some progress of our own. And I'm going to aim for a podium at least. But it's going to be tough. It's going to be real tough. We get such a run on and through Stowe. Latifi's gone defensive. I'm going to try and go around the outside of him. And we will make it work. A warning for a collision with him. I mean, we barely touched. But we're up to P15. Time to get after Kevin Magnussen.
Nice move.
What lap do they want me to pit? 30. To be fair, our tyre wear is less than 1% a lap, or about 1% a lap. So we will easily reach lap 30 on these mediums. Easily. Tyre wear is really low here at Silverstone for us. Come here, Kevin. He's gone defensive already because he knows what's coming. We'll shoot around the outside of him. And up into P14. It's another one done. Another one bites the dust. Bow, bow, bow. Another one bites the dust. Come here, Antoine. You're next. We can gauge it, can't we? We can wait and... We can gauge it and see what the gap does. Then as soon as the gap starts to drop, then I can come in. But whilst I'm still pulling away, well, in theory I pull away. If I'm still in a position where I'm pulling away from those behind, even after they've pit, then I'll make the mediums last as long as possible.
Okay, some information on Perez. They have some kind of mechanical problem.
Okay, so it's Perez that's going slowly, and they were all stuck behind Perez. So now Max will pull away from Perez, you would imagine. And it's Sergio Perez that's causing this train behind him. Oh, not Perez in the Racing Point. Sergio Perez is in an Alpha Tauri, isn't he? He's Alpha Tauri this year on this save. There you go. Norris is now attacking him as well. Yeah. It's been Sergio Perez that's been holding everybody up here. Norris is going for it up the inside at Copse. Which is brave. Very brave. Now Danny Kvyat's going to get involved. This could end poorly for everybody involved, but they've been able to keep it clean, although Perez has kept the position.
Let's use overtake and burn some of this energy.
BFG! Happy Sunday to you, my man. Thank you for the second month. Getting very racy in front, aren't they? Norris on Perez. Kvyat under pressure from Hubert, who's now through. Need to be careful that I don't get tangled up myself here. Well, hopefully they'll put each other offline or have a coming together and cause a crash. And there we go. They went offline. I'm just going to back out of that. Oh, come on, I didn't...
Okay, careful with the overtakes. That was very risky. We could have received a penalty.
Barely touched him. He got well out of line, slowed right down in front of me. That wasn't particularly my fault there. It was pretty unavoidable, me running into the back of him a little bit. Progress has halted slowly, hasn't it? Or slightly. But we'll still continue to try and force our way through the field. Hubert's still trying to get past Sergio Perez. Kvyat is slow. If I can get Stowe right, we could take him into the chicane. Didn't get Stowe right. Could still take him into the chicane if we get brave on the brakes, which we have done. We'll give him racing room, but we're through.
Good job, nice overtake.
Thank you, Jeff. P13. We're going to get Checo so much faster now that he's got that issue. He's going to try and hang it around the outside, but it's not going to work. We're up into P12. We're at the top of the lower half. If the table was split in two, we'd be first of the bottom half.
Behind by around a second a lap.
So Hubert, once we take Hubert, we'll be halfway towards the front. But there's a certain Valtteri Bottas, I presume it is, that is a long way away from the second Mercedes. But he might have damage, to be fair, and they're in a hell of a battle there, the Mercedes up top. Mercedes are front. Oh, that's why. Back end stepped on Lewis, something chronic there, and now he's in trouble. Now he's really in trouble. Charles Leclerc is gaining on Lewis Hamilton and will take him, all from that mistake. And Gasly might have a pop as well, might have a good old go. I need to get within DRS range of Hubert. Just noticed, actually, or just recalled, they're on mediums at the front. Lewis is on mediums, as is Max Verstappen. They're both going long in the Grand Prix. So Max and Lewis are both going to go long as well. They're going to be the two that we have to struggle with a little bit later on in the Grand Prix. Oh, a little bit of a squirm from Hubert there. He's got DRS though on Grosjean. We have got a run on him. Up the inside of Antoine Hubert and into P11. Come on. I'm getting warnings for collisions where I'm barely... People are, like, hitting me. I went up the inside there and he turned into me. We're halfway there. We're halfway there. P22 to P11. Keep it going.
Okay, gap to leader, 10.1 seconds.
There you go, gap to leader. That's what I was interested in.
16 laps time, 39 laps to go.
10 seconds to Bottas. That is not an insurmountable amount of time. Annoyingly, Jack is still 19th. He and Stroll just aren't making it through the pack. They're just stuck in a DRS train. No one's making any movement. So frustrating. Pretty inconsistent lap times though. They're all there or thereabouts around my fastest lap. We're very consistent with our lap times. At least I feel like we're consistent. I'll check, actually. Let's have a look. 29.1, 29.1, 29.6, 29.2, 2, 4, 5. Yeah, we're consistent-ish. The gap to Bottas is actually less than it was 3 laps ago. So unless he's saving fuel and managing his tyres, we are actually gaining on first place still. Although minimally, like a tenth a lap. Although to be fair, he is on mediums, isn't he? Same as me. So Max is having the same issue I am, really. My medium tyres just aren't quite fast enough for me to make the progress that I'd like to.
You could use Overtake to get past.
They will hopefully be pitting soon-ish. Especially those that got through to Q3. Because their softs, or the tyres that they started the race on, will have been more worn than those that started on softs that were lower down. So we should start to see some of the front runners pit about lap 25-ish, I hope. Never mind. Carlos Sainz is in the pits now. Sainz is literally, as I start talking about pit stops, Sainz has pulled the trigger. The first pit stop of the Grand Prix. Carlos Sainz, we're into the points. Okay, now we've got a run on Grosjean. Now we've got a run on Grosjean. We might even have a run on Lando. Yellow flag somewhere. We got past Grosjean. Where is this yellow flag? It's in this section somewhere, in this sector. Why is there a yellow flag? Oh, that's why. Someone's going slowly. Is it a Mercedes? It's not. It's Pierre Gasly. Pierre Gasly's about to retire from the Grand Prix. That's such a shame. He was having such a great race. Qualified so very well. And unfortunately, he's now out of the session with mechanical failure as my teammate goes into the pits. So hopefully he can undercut a number of those cars that were in front of him. But Pierre Gasly is now out of the Grand Prix, which is a real shame. Verstappen's taken a very tight line there. Oh, he's following Norris. Not Norris, he's following the Red Bull. Verstappen is past Albon all the way around the outside at Stowe. Very, very good overtake there from Max Verstappen. That was really well done. Charles Leclerc continually putting in fastest laps of the Grand Prix as he tries to close down Bottas now that he's passed Lewis Hamilton. Just noticed. Charles Leclerc up to P2. Now we do. He's gone defensive, Lando, but we're going to get him. Nail it around the outside. There you go. Position held. We're into P7. Lando pit there, I think he did. Lando gave up the ghost. Lando's in the pits.
Battery charge is high. Let's use that overtake button more.
We're getting there, boys. We're getting there. Slowly but surely. And all but Lewis and Max should be pitting before we do. All but Lewis and Max should be pitting before we do for fresh tyres. Oh, I've got a real run on Alex. I'm going to have to go for it into Maggots and Beckett's. Oh, that's an overtake, boys. That's an overtake, boys. Let's get it done. Let's go. What a move. Oh, I want to watch that again. What a move. There we go. We'll watch it from on board. Up the inside. Oh, I'm really pleased with that. I didn't actually show it the best, did it? That camera angle. Oh, such a run on him. I had to go for it. Oh, that's close racing. That's really close racing. Oh, how tight do you want to get at 160 miles an hour? Fair play to Alex Albon. That is really, really good, hard racing from both of us there. And Bottas is in the pits. Bottas pits from P1. So the first of the front runners are into the pits. We're going to go at least another 7 laps on our set of mediums. But Max and Lewis can do the same. So you're right there, Varun. We did just get the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. We are making moves, boys. We are making moves. He's nearly out of DRS range of Daniel, which will make him very, very vulnerable down the hangar straight if he is by the time we get there. Not quite the same run on him as we got on Alex Albon the lap before. Take my speed around Stowe though. Oh, and they're in the pits. Verstappen's pitting on his mediums. I'm surprised to see that. Max Verstappen started on the medium set and hasn't been able to take them any longer than any of the soft runners around him. We are up to P3 and on the podium as things stand. But we still have to pit, as do the 2 in front though. As do the 2 in front. I'm really expecting Max to go longer on that set of mediums. Unless they're just having to cover the pit stop of the Red Bull in front and put him on softs early to just try and get past as quickly as possible. Time to put in some quali laps, lads. Time to put in some quali laps. Oh, it felt weird not having DRS there. Fastest middle sector of the entire Grand Prix. Could we set another fastest lap here? Maybe if I get Stowe right. Not sure if I did. Charles Leclerc's in the pits. The second Ferrari also in the pits now, so he'll be pitting for medium tyres. We'll be pitting for soft tyres in 5 laps' time. I'm curious to know when Lewis is going to stop. It is another fastest lap of the Grand Prix from us. I'm curious to know when Lewis is going to stop, because those mediums shouldn't, in theory, be able to go as long as mine. He will have qualified on those mediums in Q2, and they will have already done 1 qualifying run, meaning that they will not go as far, or shouldn't go as far, as my brand new set that we put on at the beginning of the race. So Lewis should be pitting before we do on lap 30, although we could push these tyres a little bit further if we need to. But he's going to be difficult to overtake. He's going to be fast when he comes out the pits because he's going to have fresh softs. I think, provided they can have the pace and get decent fresh air when they come out of the pits, it's going to be Lewis and Max that we're challenging at the end of the Grand Prix. Although, judging by just having a quick look at the mini-map, Max is out in traffic. Max is out in traffic behind 2 Alfa Romeos and a McLaren. So Max is actually going to struggle to get through there unless they pit soon. So it looks like it's going to be a fight between ourselves and Lewis for the win. Or ourselves, Lewis and Valtteri for a podium. Although Charles Leclerc will have something to say about that, I'm sure. But the gap to Lewis is closing. The gap to Lewis is closing. Thanks for the follow, Rocket. Sorry, Ricket. Oh, I'm too busy reading chat. Thanks for the follow, Ricket and Mr. Taxmanon. You reckon lap 33 is the play, do you? Lap 33 says the one. Well, if your strategy is the one, then it might well work. So maybe we'll give that a go. Maybe we'll pit lap 33. We said we just managed the gap, didn't we? Danny Kvyat's pitting from P4. That's going to move Charles Leclerc back up to P4. And then we would expect Sergio Perez to pit the lap after. That will move Charles Leclerc back to P3. We will come out P6 when we pit, as things stand. And Max Verstappen, on those fresh softs, has now put in the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. But we'll be looking to do that ourselves when we pit. So as things stand, we'll come out in 5th. We'll come out in 5th ahead of Bottas. Supposedly ahead of Bottas. And that will change to P4 once Checo pits before us, which he will do. So we're well in the fight and well in the hunt for a podium, and we should be in the fight for the win as well. I'm going to knuckle down until my pit stop. Let's close that gap. Checo's in the pits. Sergio Perez in the pits. So Leclerc's back up to P3, or will be once he catches. And Bottas will be up into P4, and we should be coming out in P4 when we pit. Not really. He's up to 15th, Jack Aitken. He's pit, so he will take Latifi when he pits, so he'll be 14th. Come on, Jack. Get some points, please. You can't qualify P4 and then bin it lap 1 and not score points. Lewis is actually pulling away from me. Up to 7.5. It was 7.1. I'm going to have to really concentrate to close this gap down. It is not going to be easy to win this Grand Prix. Yeah, we could undercut Lewis. That is a... Oh, he's pit. He's pit.
Hamilton is in the...
Oh, come on. Give me a break. I'm gonna have to react to Hamilton's. I'm gonna have to react to Hamilton's pit stop.
Pitting this lap then. Come into the pits
I'm gonna have to react. Lewis pits, and I can't let him undercut me to try and extend the gap. I'm gonna have to pit myself. 28 laps on this set of mediums, and now we need to go 24 laps on a set of softs. We will come out in P5 or P4, probably P4. That's Lewis done with his pit stop. Hopefully ours is quite quick. Leclerc and Bottas about to come around the final turn in a moment. 2.3 seconds isn't bad. 2.3 seconds isn't bad, but you can see Leclerc's going through now into P1 and Bottas is about to follow him. So the Charles Leclerc leads the Grand Prix. We are going to come out P5 behind Max Verstappen and Carlos Sainz. And to be fair, Verstappen is on soft tyres too, so he's going to be quick.
We pretty much burned off our excess fuel.
Oh, I forgot I was still in rich. Balls.
Don't wait too long to turn the engine down.
Right, here we go then.
8.8
seconds. That's what we have to close up.
See these tyres through to the end now. 24 laps to go.
8.8 seconds is what we have to close to the leader. 8.8 seconds. There's 5 cars in our way. Actually come out P6, even though it said I'd come out P5, which is annoying. Oh, come on! I'm not gaining an advantage out there. I'm just running wide and it's slowing me down. Don't need to penalise me for that. Max will want to get past Carlos as soon as possible because that McLaren is in the way of him and a potential podium as well. He's having a look.
This pace is strong, but be aware your tyres need to go the distance.
They will. We're going to both catch on Sainz here. Neither of us by enough to have a go.
Use your overtake button more. It's
I
time
am.
to utilise some of
I
this
am.
energy.
I'm surprised Max can't get past. He's going for it around the outside of Carlos Sainz at Stowe. We're going to have a great seat to watch this. Max and Sainz battling hard, and Sainz might lose 2 places in the space of a couple of corners here. Myself and Max are both through, up to P4 and 5 respectively. Time to close on Bottas, 4.7 seconds. We'll try and follow Max up to the back of him if we can, because presumably the two of us are going to have the pace now. Sorry, Max, you don't stand a chance here, mate. Straight line speed is with me. Oh. Straight line speed is so much with me that the gap closed up quicker than I thought it was going to and end up running into the back of him. See you, Max. P4 for the cheese. Bottas 2.9. Lewis just set a fastest lap of the race with 127.2. We're about to blitz that with a 126.2. A second faster than anybody else on the racetrack. The gap to Leclerc has only dropped by just over a second since the pit stop. We are going to be hard pushed to win this Grand Prix.
We're not going to be able to run in this engine mode much longer.
I know, I'm trying to take Valtteri Bottas, Jeff, if you don't mind.
Down to mix too soon.
Which we have now done. P3 and podium position. And Lewis is closing in on Charles Leclerc for the win. Or for P1. But we're hopefully going to close in on both of them to potentially win. 4.4 to Charles Leclerc. 3.7 to Lewis Hamilton.
Started to drop back. There's a gap beginning to form.
There is a 3-way fight for a victory at the British Grand Prix between a Monegasque and 2 Brits. Hamilton takes Leclerc for the lead of the Grand Prix. Hamilton takes Leclerc for the lead of the Grand Prix in front. Down the hanger straight. Lewis is going to get the move done. Those soft tyres working well for Lewis. Running the same strategy as me. And he is now in front. And you will not see Charles Leclerc take that position back again. 14 laps. 14 laps to go. 6 seconds to Lewis. 4 seconds to Charles. P2 is probable. P1 is very questionable. If I'm to catch Lewis, though, I am going to need to be so fast in these final 11 to 12 laps. And we're going to have to make light work of Charles Leclerc. I can't waste time trying to get past Leclerc. Or can't afford to lose time trying to get past Charles Leclerc, because it will cost me the win if I do end up losing too much. Because Lewis will just get too far away from me. I have a feeling he might already be too far away from me. Verstappen has taken Bottas behind, I've just noticed as well. Max Verstappen's medium to soft strategy is working for him too. Bottas's medium to soft strategy is working for him too. He's up to P4. The gap to Lewis is coming down, but I think as a pair, we're closing in on the leader now. Although he has just had to take some traffic, evidently. Sniffing the fumes coming out the back of that Ferrari now. 2.7 to Lewis. That gap is plummeting. Either he's made a mistake or his tyres are going. The gap to Lewis has dropped dramatically. It was like 3.5, wasn't it? Don't know if he's made a mistake, but that gap has dropped. Although, I guess us closing right up on the back of Charles has definitely helped that. Here we go. Here we go. Same as we did against Max. P2. P2 in the British Grand Prix. 2.2 seconds to the leader. Time to hunt the win. The hunt begins.
We're leading our teammate by 24.5 seconds.
8 laps to do it. 2.4 seconds to gain. And we're going to take Charles Leclerc with us. He's going to just sit in my DRS. He's not out of this race yet either. It's getting closer. 1.2. I've used all my battery up, though, to get in towards DRS range. If I make a mistake, it's over. I'm not going to catch him in the 3 laps we have left. Fastest lap of the race. And we are within DRS range, but it's cost me all of my battery, and I don't have enough spare fuel to run in rich. So for the time being, my only weapon is the DRS. 2 laps to go. I'm going to save my battery on this lap. I'm going to save my battery on this lap to try and get him down the hanger straight on the final lap. That's all I can do, really.
There's only 1 lap of fuel remaining.
We're going to get him. If I can nail Maggots and Beckett's, we're going to get him with a lap to go. I haven't nailed it. I'm not close enough. I'm going to save my battery. I'm not close enough. It's going to go to the last lap. It's going to go to the last lap. But we were right with until I got a bit of oversteer there.
This is your final lap of the race.
God, come back here, Lewis, please don't. Imagine how wild the crowd would be going right now. 2 English drivers fighting for the win on the last lap at Silverstone. I was a little bit squirrely on the way out of Luffield and Woodcote. Piss off with your... Piss off with your penalties. I'm not gaining anything by running wide there. It's not penalty worthy. See, when I get it properly, I actually gain time. He's going to get DRS off that back marker. He's not got DRS off the back marker. It has to be now. It has to be now. Into Stowe on the last lap for the win of the British Grand Prix. I'm sorry, Lewis. It's not your day. Nicholas Latifi right in front of us will still have another lap to complete, but we are going to win our home Grand Prix with 2 corners to go.
Everything we wanted today.
Yes! That was close. Last to first challenge complete. 5 bits from Connor. Oh my God, it's unbelievable, Jeff. Oh! P1. P1. Last to first.
Well, they certainly stood out as a drive with tons of confidence.
Oh my God, that was tough. That was so tough. Scott has gifted 11 subscriptions to the channel as a congratulatory prize. Ron Murr, Basilisk, Connolly, Ghostface, Santos, Monster Guy, Dino, GS Gunner, Vari, Big Mr. Stan and Dialogue. Welcome to the gang, my lads. 214 bits from Sabre for 214th place to first, counting all the penalties. And 10,000 bits from Martin. Man of my word, fair play, Ches. What a damn race, remarkable. Thank you, Martin. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Sabre. Thank you, every single last one of you. A win in my home Grand Prix from last on the grid to first, and my teammate stole my fastest lap, but he did get points. Jack Aitken, my teammate, steals my fastest lap at the end, but gets points. It was on the last lap as well. Can you believe it? Well done, Jack. Points for the team. Points for the team. Jack Aitken gets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix on the last lap. And we get pole. We get first. So the standings. We are within 14 points of Valtteri Bottas as Spresta Show gives another 5 subs. Slothed Out, Hellowell, Rare Joseph, Oscar and Pearly. Thank you very much, Spresta. You guys all now have a subscription to the channel. Thank you for the 16 bits official SD as well. What a race, man. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. 14 points behind Bottas and 7 points behind Mercedes. 7 points behind Mercedes in the Constructors. It's going to be a hell of a battle for the Drivers' title. It's going to be a hell of a battle for the Constructors because Jack, to be fair, Jack went from last to 8th. Or last to 9th, and I went from last to first because he spun on the first corner. I'm elated. The Team R2. Jack's had a hell of a Grand Prix there. So easy when the car handles like this. It wasn't Lewis's day today. No, it wasn't. But he's a great driver and he'll keep me on my toes, and he certainly did keep me on my toes today. Oh, absolutely. Jack Aitken last to 9th he's actually going to be a really decent teammate by the looks of things. If that Grand Prix is anything to go by, Jack Aitken is actually going to be a really good teammate for us, provided he can avoid making mistakes like he did on lap 1 today. But we are winning the rivalry against Lewis. We're going up in acclaim. We've got 1.34 million from our sponsors, and we're very, very, very happy with how that British Grand Prix went.
Our margins are looking good right now. I think we've got room for some more investment.
Time to renew a sponsorship. Renew 2 sponsorships. But to be fair, I'm pretty sure Satellite and Sudo will be the 2 best. We could get Atlantic back, maybe. Zanzar. Achieve at least 1 podium within the team. Is that worth doing now that we're in the position we are? I think so. We'll take Zanzar. And then Satellite. I mean, that's still a massive one. Satellite's still a huge one. Satellite's still a huge one. We'll definitely still continue with Satellite. So let's put Zanzar on the car. We've got a brand new sponsor for the very first time, or the first time in forever. Zanzar are our new sponsors. And Satellite can go on the wing and on the nose cone again. Never had Zanzar. Welcome to the Chesnoid Racing family, Zanzar. You are more than welcome. More than welcome. I spent a little bit of money there, didn't I? So, let's put older parts back in for the next set of... for the next practice session. And let's... Oh, there we go. Race simulations. I'm actually going to put some faith in Jack. I'm going to try and build his... I'm going to try and build his stats. I'm actually going to put faith in Jack and try and improve him, because he's proven in that Grand Prix that he can cut it in this car. Oh, we're getting all the upgrades. All of the upgrades are coming good as well. So in the R&D, we don't have anything in development anymore because everything is on the car and we have loads of resource points to spend. What did I say I was going to do next? It was something powertrain related, wasn't it? Do we go for fuel efficiency? Do we go for ERS? I think fuel efficiency. Let's go for fuel efficiency. 1,250 resource points. That's done. We're going to need over 1,000, over 1,400. Wow. We need at least over 1,200 resource points now for any upgrade we want to do. But the powertrain is on the way. The powertrain is on the way. And we will head to the Hungarian Grand Prix. Replace gearbox? Yes, please. Head to the Hungarian Grand Prix for tomorrow's stream. But hopefully we are putting ourselves in a position to win the Drivers' Championship this season. And fingers crossed Jack Aitken can do the work to help us go for the Constructors' Championship this season too. It's going to be a wet quali. It's going to be a wet quali in Q1 at least. Fully dry, hot race as it usually is in Hungary. But a wet quali. And Mercedes have improved too. We might have improved and ticked over the 800 mark on the performance index, but Mercedes have followed us. They too are making improvements, as have Ferrari and Red Bull from the British Grand Prix. So it's not going to be easy again in the next one. Oh, but for the YouTube video, thank you very much for watching me, guys. Make sure you drop the video a like. Make sure you subscribe to the ChesnoidPlays channel so you don't miss out on more. And I'll see you in the next one.